how do you see money in a relationship? I need to hear that one as well. From whoever is tuning in. It's a live chat, guys. Go ahead and drop in the comments what your take is on that. Have you even had that conversation of money in your relationship? Let me know, because so many relationships start off without the discussion of money. So it hits us by surprise when issues of money come up. But these are inevitable things that should be discussed in any relationship. How you would handle money, the number of kids that you would have, where you would live, the kind of schools that you would want your children to go to. Those are things you talk about when you're looking to settle with a person. So like in a relationship that would lead to marriage, unless you're just passing through and wasting time. But if you found this right person that you would want to settle down with, you need to get deeper and serious in the issues of money and see how they respond to money, because some people really take money to the next level. They don't even want anyone to talk about their money. I mean, I can trust you with my life, my health, but not my money. There are people who are like that. So I want to hear from you. Have you had anyone talk about relationships and money? And what is your take on that one? Is it something that you see as my money, your money, our money? How do you handle that? So let us ask, should money be split 50-50 in a relationship even when one person earns way more? Or is it something you disagree with? Should it be money? Should it be an issue that is split 50-50 even when I earn way more than you? Or is it or should it be based on income? Yeah, should it be based on your income, that you meet this and this need because you have this much? Or you shouldn't be paying for anything because you don't have? I need to hear from Quality Marriage. Oh yeah, she's just written. No, I'll read Dina's comments first. She says men even don't want to tithe, so how can they combine their money? She says men don't want to tithe. If there is any man out there listening, in defense of the men, do you really want to tithe, or is it something that you don't want to think about and you find hard to do? Because maybe Dina is biased and she says men don't want to tithe. Probably the ones she's been with don't want to. If you're a man out there and you want to tithe and you are okay splitting your money 50-50, you drop us in the comment and defend the men. Otherwise, Dina is so much on your case. And she says men nowadays are tourists. In other words, they come in and see what it is that you have and then just disappear, having left you with a few things here or there, because that's what tourists do. They come in, see what you've got, and then go back to their countries with all that they came with. So that's what Dina has said, and that's how she sees you men. Quality Marriage says couples should prioritize their needs mostly, then it will bond and untrust than carrying a bulk of dependents that make you look like a gold digger. Okay, I think Quality Marriage should clarify on that one, because I didn't get it very well. She says couples should prioritize their needs mostly, then it will bound and earn trust than carrying a bulk of dependents that make them look like gold diggers. I think that's what she's trying to say. But again, go ahead, Quality Marriage, and explain this one. I think she's saying prioritizing your family first than going on carrying your family members, and it makes you come off like a gold digger. Someone always asking for, my father needs this, my mother needs this, and it puts this weight on the man where he has to deal with you. And that's where one said that I didn't marry your whole clan, I just married you. I think men should also get on board on this one, because again, we need to be honest on this one and very clear. we are from Africa, unless you're watching in from somewhere else. But if you're in Africa, the way things are, you don't come alone. I have some Eritrean friends that I'm learning different cultures from. You marry this woman, she comes with her auntie, her uncle, and her nephew, and they all come and stay with you. And she's living with her mother, father, so many other dependents, and that can take a toll on the man. And unless you have a wallet deep enough that can take care of the wife's parents and you don't get yourself entangled into any marriage, because my dear, you wouldn't be able to handle or cope. So that is for the African culture. And for my new Eritrean friends who were telling me about their culture and how you can't marry except you have money enough to take care of loved ones as well. So you come off as a gold digger. That's why the Indians are doing it the right way. They become partners. I only give you my daughter, I give you my son, if I know you're doing well. That way, it is money staying in the right places. It won't be like I married you and then you're coming in, my son needs fees, my daughter needs money for this and the other. Theirs is more contractual. So maybe that would help with Katie's, with Quality Marriages opinion. Otherwise, let me know where you're watching in from and who you are. Thank you so much, those of you who have been sending comments. I hope you can keep them coming. Your opinions as well on this one. There are so many reasons people get married. But I think, for one, that before we get that person and you say this one is the right for me, they need to be enterprising. They need to have the same goals as you. If my goal is to make sure that I drain you dry and take back home to my family, where I came from, that is my father, my mother, my sisters, my brothers, my uncles, then that person, from onset, you can really tell, because we can only hide and hide so much. Not everything can be hidden. Some of these things you hide, but after some time they come out, and it can be seen that, you know what, this one is like this one is like the other. So if you're going to marry someone, sit down and talk about some of these things. And I would advise that when you're getting married, don't look at your financial position right now, because it can change. Like the weather, it can change anytime. Today you may be having and I don't, and the next day I have and you don't. Then what would happen? That is something that we ought to all think about, because when you start off a relationship, those are things that you are really key, because like I said, that money and love, yeah, like I said, money and love are two things that can bring people closer or push them apart. Money and love. Why did I add love? I didn't go deep into the love section. It's because, but the who you love, your parents, your siblings, your relatives. If you take them above your partner, it could break you apart. If you take money in high regard, it could tear you apart. And if you took money as very, something that can easily be replaced, and in a relationship you consider the other person, the relationship could have a ground to stand. But it's unwise if you have to live out your life with a person and money gets between the two of you. I mean, I know men in African setting have that tendency of saying, the man, and so I should provide. But remember, it's not written anywhere that you should be the one to solely provide, because two are better than one. Now, if two are better than one, imagine you bring in your money, I bring in mine, and we put it together. My friend, like it or not, will go very far, very fast. There's those sayings that are out there that if you want to go far, go alone. But if you want to go further, you need to go with someone. Now, if you put your resources together as a couple, that's my take. I know Dina has given hers. That's my take. If you put your resources together as a couple and then discuss, what should we do this month? The moment both of you are willing to sit on table and agree on doing such a thing, it means you're in it for the long run. But if the person is not willing, even on onset, to put money together, they are really not showing a permanent sense. And so they can leave anytime. And probably that's what happened with Dina. Maybe next time, if you're finding someone, or if you've not yet already found, it should be their take on money. Don't look for someone who has already made it and you go looking for a provider, because he will provide. But when he's good and tired, done and tired of you, he will throw you out like an old cloth. And that will be easy for him because he knows you came with nothing, that you came with a plastic bag and you want to live with a lorry. On whose account? That is what they would say. I want to read a comment. Quality Marriage says, couples should empower themselves. Hey, Quality Marriage, you're using deep, deep words. Go on and clarify on that one. How should couples empower themselves? And Dina says, now you can't develop each other, and the other day, one of you can call your partner an ape. Those are serious, serious words, Dina. Now you can't develop each other, and the other day, one of you can call your partner an ape. I guess what you're trying to say is you work together to develop each other, and then the next thing is you're abusing and calling each other names. I hope that is what you meant, Dina. Otherwise, Lillian says, good evening. Oh my goodness, Lillian, so good to hear from you. I'm glad that you've tuned in. My power went off because of Umeme, and so I thought many of you, like Rogers, Lillian, who tune in, were disappointed and went off to bed, or I don't know what happened, but I'm so glad that you've tuned in. But the topic of discussion is, should money be split 50-50 in a relationship, even when one earns more than the other, or is it unfair? That is what we were talking about. So I need to hear your opinion. What do you think? Should money be split 50-50 in a relationship, or is that unfair? The other thing I know I talked about is, do you see your finances as mine and yours, or is it ours? That is something that I would want also to hear your opinion about. Single Dad says, 1 Timothy 5:8. Let's read that part. A Single Dad wants us to read the Bible now. 1 Timothy 5:8. And I'll try and look it up. 1 Timothy 5:8. I hope Single Dad is willing to explain it, because he's the one who brought it up. And if Single Dad, you happen to see it, go on and read 1 Timothy 5:8. I didn't know Single Dad was a Bible reader, but that is so good to know. And it says, but if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he has denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Oh my goodness, that is good. But listen to what it says. I mean, you brought this up. It's a Bible reading based channel, and I'll give it to you basing on what I've just read. But if any provide